Hello, kia ora, g'day. I'm Philip Duncan from Weatherwatch TV on YouTube with your Australia-only forecast through until this coming Sunday. Let's get into the forecast because there is a lot to talk about, especially in the southeastern corner. Severe weather is quite likely there over the coming week, so we'll break that down for you. On the animated map today, this shows wind, but temperatures as well. So certainly warm to hot weather carrying on over a big part of Australia, but the high pressure zone south of South Australia is keeping that cooler airflow carrying on around places like Adelaide, into Victoria, the ACT, and some inland higher elevation parts of New South Wales. Tasmania also obviously caught up in that with the westerly winds blowing through. So it's kind of normal, I think, for this time of the year to see a map like that, and that high pressure zone is the main driving feature of the weather to kick off this week. So here at lunchtime Tuesday, or actually into the afternoon, depending on where you live, you can see an area of high pressure over South Australia, New South Wales and Victoria. That is obviously going to keep things pretty dry. Not what most of you want to hear, I guess, but that is the setup. You got showers in coastal areas and the windy westerlies return back to Tasmania. And that is the main feature of our video today, the gale force westerlies around Tasmania and Bass Strait. But the other feature, we've got showers around coastal parts of Queensland. The winds pick up a little bit and we'll be seeing some heavier downpours around the Northern Territory. Really the top half of it up towards Darwin, going to be seeing heavy showers and some rain off and on this week, and some spillover into Western Australia, mostly into that northern half, or northeastern half, I should say, of Western Australia. Moving through to Wednesday, a bit of a southerly for the southern part of Western Australia, not much in the way of wet weather though. The pale blue basically just means risk of a shower. You may not even get one. In the north, still some of those downpours for the Northern Territory, some showers passing places like Broome, hit and miss though, and still seeing some heavier showers, or not necessarily heavier, but a higher chance of showers around the far north of Queensland, coming in with that easterly wind off the Coral Sea. Now elsewhere, not a lot to talk about, but as you go further south, those westerly winds pick up around the mountains and getting into Victoria. And obviously once you get down to Tasmania, that is where we're seeing some more serious weather. Heavy rain returns to the west coast. There won't be much spilling over though onto the eastern half of Tasmania. Into Thursday now, we've got a risk of severe gales. Again, the chance of damaging gales, trees down, power cuts, that sort of thing, maybe flights being disturbed as well, heading towards Melbourne and places like that, coming out of Hobart. So those windy, severe gale westerlies come through Bass Strait, but they fade quite fast as you head northwards. Now, if you need rain and you're around New South Wales, Victoria, South Australia, not much coming in, I'm sorry to say. Coastal areas have the best chance, and it's not looking like a huge amount. Elsewhere, there isn't very much to talk about. Sorry if I'm not mentioning you. As we go through to Friday, look at this, severe gales, damaging winds still likely possible around Tasmania, and they may surge a little further into Victoria and South Australia, only just, but it is possible. So Tasmania in the thick of this stormy weather, thanks to big storms like this one here, south of Tassie, south of the New Zealand area. And so with low air pressure, 950 hectopascals, may even be into the 940s if you zoom in further to it, shows you that there is a massive air pressure gradient from, say, about New South Wales southwards. And that's the reason why you're seeing these very strong winds once again coming into Tasmania. On the other side, high pressure over the Indian Ocean, that's encouraging a cooler southerly that cranks up a wee bit into the sort of middle part of Western Australia. Windy southeasterlies coming through for you at the end of the week. Okay, into the weekend now, so a bit of convergence here around sort of Uluru. You might be seeing around Ayers Rock a couple of downpours also coming into Queensland, Northern Territory and the northern part of Western Australia. Elsewhere, coastal showers along the south all the way through to South Australia. And then once you get into Victoria, there is a better chance for frequent showers. But again, the pale blue is a risk of showers. You don't always get them in that pale blue shading. Don't want to get your hopes up if you do need rain. On the other hand, down in Tasmania, the rain's falling heavily over on the western side. The eastern side, you're in that rain shadow. There won't be very much coming for you. And of course, that carries on into New South Wales, that rain shadow being sheltered by the hills and ranges. And our final map for Sunday again shows Tasmania caught up in the windiest of the weather. Probably not damaging at this point, but still strong, could still be severe weather warnings, and you can see a showery risk around that southeastern corner, but not much rain on the way, sadly, for Victoria or New South Wales or South Australia. But we're seeing heavier rain returning to the far north Queensland and into the Northern Territory, much of the territory actually getting that risk of a downpour across the week, and that spills over into the very northern part of Western Australia. That's all from me for today. Back again later this week. We'll take a closer look at the rainfall around Australia. We'll see you then.